And Audette, your Scentsy Superstar Director, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about flipping parties. So what do I mean by flipping parties? Do I mean like go out and do backflips at parties? No, that's not funny, I know, and I try sometimes. Sometimes they come out okay and sometimes they don't. But flipping parties is basically when you do a party for someone and they say to you, maybe I would like to do that. Maybe I would like to become a Scentsy consultant. And so you basically turn that party that you were doing into their launch party. And there are so many different ways to do this. I mean, I could go on and on and on about this subject. I'd like to start off with a little story. So when I first joined Scentsy, I was so excited. I was gung-ho. I had drive and determination, and I was ready to conquer the world. I was going to sell Scentsy to every person in my city. And I did a party, I think it was my second or third home party that I had ever done. And this wonderful woman came. Her name was Patty Lynch, and she actually had another direct sales business. She was doing, maybe it wasn't technically a direct sales business, but basically she was selling purses at people's homes. So she actually got invited by my hostess, which was my friend, because she wanted contacts for her purse parties. Well, once she saw our product, she got really, really excited. And she approached me at the party, basically, and long story short, and had inquired about maybe selling it. And I was kind of shocked and thinking, oh my gosh, really? You want to sell this too? So I said, let me find out information and I'll get back to you. So I got into my car and I called my sponsor, the amazing Becca Levi, and I said, Becca, you're not going to believe this. This woman that is so popular in our town, she's from here. I'm not from here. She knows way more people than me. She wants to sell Scentsy too. And basically I was devastated because I was thinking, okay, there goes all of my sales. And Becca kind of laughed at me. This is 8 years ago, and said, oh, Jen, someday you'll wish that everybody came knocking on your door wanting to sell Scentsy with you. So in making a long story short, my great friend Patty Lynch is still a Scentsy consultant with me. Actually, she's a star director. So you definitely want everybody to join your team. We do not ever step on each other's toes. There are hundreds of Scentsy consultants now in our town. And so it was such a blessing, but it is a kind of a funny story. So I was definitely a little concerned when she started. So now back to flipping parties. So once I started to get the hang of it, and I talk a lot about our 2-year plan. So if you can sell consistently 2,000 PRV, $2,000 here in the United States, or 2,000 PRV points in any other country, and sponsor 2 business partners into your business and teach them to do the same. What I always tell people is once you have a new recruit or you've sponsored somebody, your goal is to help them get to star consultant. That is your #1 most important thing. So you want to sell 2,000 and sponsor 2 people and then teach those people to do the same as you. And we call that the 2-year plan. And within, even if it's 2 to 5 years, you could be earning a great salary. So that is the 2-year plan. I still strive today, 8 years into, to do that. Every single month I try to sell 2,000 in PRV, and I try to sponsor at least 2 new business partners into my business. So on my journey as I was going, I was starting to learn that, oh my gosh, so I can work really, really hard selling this stuff all by myself and making a commission on what I sell, or I can help other people build their dreams and conquer their goals and do all these amazing things and earn free trips and make a great income as well, which in turn will help me. So that's when I started to grasp the concept of flipping parties. And during that time, we really needed the income. We really needed the sales. So it was important to me to keep as much of my sales as possible. So what I would do is if I were doing a party for someone and they decided that they wanted to become a Scentsy consultant, a lot of times I would say to them, you know what, I'll split this party with you, or I'll give you half of it. And then your goal will be to go and get this party up to $500 so that you can get the maximum hostess benefits. You'll get the $75 in free product in the US, and you'll get your 3 half-price items, and you earn the commission, and you've already earned your shooting star award. So I would split them. So even today, it just depends on the circumstances. You don't always always have to give 100% of the party away. You can give half of it, you can give $100 of it, you can give $150 of it, you can give whatever you want. So flipping a party basically means taking, if you've gone and done this party for someone, then splitting that with them or giving them the entire party as their launch party. I will do this sometimes with fundraisers. If I have a person that has signed up for a fundraiser with me and they're really excited about Scentsy, I'll say, you know what, you enter this fundraiser and then you already have a thriving business and all of these customers. Or basket parties, that's one that I really like to do. So if somebody turns in a basket party to me and they've managed to sell $400 or $500, then I feel guilty entering that because I did nothing. They did all of the work. So I try my hardest to flip every single basket party. So I always give 100% of that. But there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can give whatever percentage of that party. And if you're trying to hit that 2-year plan, remember, you've got to really fill your calendar. So it's hard to hit 2,000 and have 2 new recruits or sponsor 2 people if you're handing the PRV to them. So you need to have lots of PRV. You need to have lots of parties on your schedule so that you can easily do that. So when we talk about flipping parties, not to beat a dead horse, we're talking about you're doing a party for a hostess and you talk to her about becoming a Scentsy consultant. She says, sure, I think I could see myself doing that. And you give that party to her as her launch party, or you give a part of it to her. So we often talk about the Cinderella Theory. And the Cinderella Theory, and this kind of goes along with this whole flipping parties, is when you do a party, you want people in the room to say, oh, I could see myself doing that. So a couple of really important things. You don't want to take 15 trips out to the car. I have a rule for myself. I try to never take more than 2 trips to the car. And I don't want to look like I'm sweating and everything is super heavy, because then people are like, well, I don't want to do that. She is working so hard and that's a lot of work. The other thing is you don't want a big, giant, gorgeous display. And the reason being that if I have 4 diffusers that I'm showcasing, then they're gonna do the math. They're gonna say, okay, 4 diffusers, that's 400, 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's over $500 just in diffusers that she has on her table, and plus warmers and all kinds of stuff. And they're thinking, okay, there's no way I could afford to do this. So you want them to have that Cinderella moment where they can see themselves in your shoes. They can see themselves making 1 trip out to the car and having a simple display and being able to afford that and building a very successful business. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope that you understand what flipping parties is, and I hope that you start flipping all your parties, because let me tell you, this journey is so much more fun with a friend, with a team, with people all over the world. I'm so blessed now that I have friends, team members, which are like our family now, my Scentsy family, in all kinds of countries all over the world. And it's just such a bonus. Never did I know when I signed up for $99 to make a little bit of extra money to pay off some medical bills that this would be my life. I'm living my dream life. So I'd love to chat with you more about this. If you have any questions, have a great day.